the Black Bears have played under Coach Vachon have been won. And she was just recently named the Coach of the Year for the second consecutive year. And Sandy, this is the most ruckus crowd I think I've heard all season long, because this is the Memorial Gymnasium in the pit, and there's just so much of a facade that echoes with sound. You're going to hear that quite a bit, especially when the Black Bears get some buckets. Unfortunately for them on this one, unable to do so, and now Albany pushing the pace quickly.
Yeah, and this is exactly what a playoff atmosphere should sound like. This place is rocking here today, and Police Roosevelt just missed her first shot, but Maine right now is in a 2-3 matchup against Albany.
And the first bucket goes down. Forster bests the Bears and gets this one on the board.
Yeah, Maine's got to do a good job on Forster. She's averaging almost 10 points a game, and she hurt them a little bit in both games. And we'll talk a little bit more about that Sutton-Forster matchup a little bit later on, but they've got a key on her defensively.
Black Bears working the shot clock down to 11. The feed around. Rosignol to Milan for a deep three. Nothing but net.
And that's a good sign from Maine. She just caught and shot.
So an early lead for the Black Bears, and the crowd erupts. Not one to rest on their laurels is this fan base here. The runner-up is going to miss. The rebound is pulled down from Sutton, who outlets it to Dorsaw. She drives in, darts to the lane, the dish out. Now it's to Milan, who goes up off the window, batted around, but the ball is going to be won by the Great Danes. That's going to be Schechter.
Yeah, again, I think this is going to be a matchup for Maine on the boards that they've got to do a good job of boxing out. They're very mismatched size-wise, position by position.
This Great Danes team actually gave Maine one of their two tougher tests on the season. This one worked inside. It's not going to go. Follow-up, count it, and one. As Alexa Schechter goes to the line for a chance at three.
Yeah, with Schechter and Forster underneath on the box, they've got 6'2" in Forster and 6'3" on Schechter, and Maine's got to do a better job of putting a body and pushing them out of that half-moon circle into the basket.
And Rosignol had to go and defend Schechter, which resulting in her getting the offensive board and a chance at three, and she'll complete the play. And it's an early 5-3 advantage for the Albany Great Danes on the road.
Yeah, and Albany's picking up man-to-man full court, which is probably this pit-sized court is probably a little bit more of an advantage for them to be able to pick up man-to-man full court.
Let's go Black Bears chant echoes out here at these hallowed halls. The drive in off the glass will not drop. Still a battle for it, and the taller players from Albany are going to pull it down, and it's Schechter once more.
Yeah, and that's something I would be guessing that Albany's coaching staff really played on this week in practice, is to utilize their size.
The lob over. Three from the wing from Frames, and she buries the tray.
Yeah, Frames is 32%, one of their better three-point shooters.
Albany looking sharp. We talked about it before the broadcast, Andy, and you said the Black Bears really should be worried. This Great Danes team is playing their best basketball here entering this semifinal.
Well, as I always say, it's tough to beat a team 3 times. Obviously they beat New Hampshire 3 times, but UNH is a team that's been struggling towards the end of the season. Albany is not. Albany's a team that's peaking, I think, right now.
The follow-up putback is good as Tanisha Sutton gets her first bucket. Maine now getting up to 5 points, trailing by a 3.
Yeah, Maine picking up at half court, trying to trap a little bit in the corners.
Frames running the show. She'll be guarded by Milan. They're a loose defensive alignment here for the Black Bears beyond the perimeter. Down to Schechter at the foul line. Thought about the 3 with Stokes. She drives in, a little bit of contact. Pull-up jumper is missed. It's knocked to Rosignol.
Yeah, Sutton did a really good job of boxing out the 6'2" Cansey on that possession.
Waddling just beyond the left block. She'll get it fed back to her. 6:27 remaining in this first quarter. Albany on top. 8-5. Three-pointer to tie it, though, is going to be a little too strong. A rebound by Forster.
Yeah, and again, Maine had a wide-open look. They'd move the ball well around the perimeter and hit Waddling outside as Milan was trying to dribble penetrate.
Kepper Stokes. Cross-court pass. Another deep 3. This one's going to miss, but the big body inside of Heather Forster with a putback for 2. 2 quick buckets for her. She now has 4 points to lead all scorers. And right now, the Great Danes doubling up the Black Bears by a 10-5 advantage.
Yeah, and the scouting report on her is they've got big and capital letters here, big bold letters to box her out. She is the team's leading rebounder.
Offensive foul as the UAlbany bench erupts as Fonnie Wadley was called for her first foul.
Team second. Into the game for the Black Bears, number 5, Maeve Carroll.
So Maeve Carroll will check into the contest for Fonnie, and she'll head towards the sidelines.
Yeah, Maeve Carroll obviously is a little bit more undersized than Fonnie Wadling is, but she plays very, very physical, and that's what you need to do against Forster. Put a body on her and play physical.
Another three-pointer. This time is going to be a replication of the first, and Frames now has 6 points, all by way of beyond the arc.
Yeah, I want to say that was a little bit of a moving screen on Forster's part as well. Referees didn't call it.
We mentioned this is a rivalry matchup because UAlbany hosted the Americas Championship game back in both 2016 and 17, besting the Black Bears in both of them. They've met 5 times in the postseason, Sandy. UAlbany leading 3-2. That one's going to be a tad too strong. Rebounds batted to Maeve Carroll. Black Bears have another chance. They're trailing by a wide margin early on.
Yeah, Maine may do well to try to run this Albany team.
Sutton driving in on the taller player, gets it over, can't seem to get the angle as it's knocked out of bounds, and we'll have a timeout on the floor. UAlbany on top, 13-5, with 4:37 remaining in the quarter. We'll be back with more. He has punched the Black Bears in the mouth early on and have an 8-point lead, 13-5.
Yeah, Albany right now definitely seems like their intensity level is a little bit higher than Maine's, but I'm sure after a little bit of a conversation with Coach Vachon, that'll change.
Now the little pull-up jumper is going to be missed, and Maine really having some trouble shooting on these hoops, which is a little bizarre because this is actually the practice facility of them. They haven't played a home game here yet this season up until now.
Well, we can attribute that a little bit to Albany's defense.
Yes.
Albany's they're being very physical right now. Every single shot, for the most part, with the exception of the three-pointer Fonnie Wadling took, there's been a body on a Maine shooter.
Welcome along, swings around to Dorsar. Now into Sutton with 14 on the shot clock. Again, tremendous defense inside results in a tie ball, and it'll go to the favor of the Great Danes. Another great inside defensive play for Forster.
Yeah, Tanisha Sutton brought that ball down, and if you're going to bring a ball down like that, you got to get your elbows out. You got to create some space for yourself, and she didn't do that, so the taller player reached right down and grabbed the ball from her.
Now the Great Danes will work the ball around the perimeter in the possession of Frames, who's been extremely dangerous. She's so quick and shifty as well. Now into Forster. She drives in on Maeve Carroll. The spin move, the up and under is to perfection for another 2.
Yeah, you can definitely see that Albany's mentality right now is to attack the basket, attack the rim.
Saar with some backcourt pressure, being guarded by Frames. Now it's swung around. Right now it's a 10-point lead for UAlbany, 15-5 with 3:32 remaining in this first quarter.
Yeah, definitely Maine shouldn't panic here. They've got plenty of time, but they've got to attack the basket as well.
Guacamole now drives in, 1 second left on the shot clock, and that will be clanged off the back iron. Black Bears ice-cold shooting, and again, credit to the defense of the Great Danes.
Yeah, and even in that time, they didn't have a body on Milan, but they definitely had a hand up on her face. Plus, the shot clock was running down, so that's a rush shot.
Great feed inside. Unfortunately for Forster, unable to get it through. She gets up slowly. Maine pushing the advantage. Tanisha Sutton at the top of the key. Now Carroll looking, and there will be a foul off the ball, and that will favor the Black Bears as that one will be charged for the Great Danes first.
Yeah, Albany definitely is doing a good job of putting a body on. Even I think what's happening is she's being held a little bit. When they're bumping and cutting, Albany looks like they're holding with the forearm or they're actually literally holding with the shirt.
Good feed in underneath to Sutton, and the Black Bears end the rout as Sutton now has 4.
Yeah, Maine needs just to get focused on that. Don't just pick away at this. Don't try to get it with three-point shots. Just keep picking away, get percentage shots, get to the free throw line.
And more importantly, that gets the crowd into it as they start to get vocal again. Now here's another three-pointer just narrowly missing as it pops out for Frames.
Yeah, and I'm going to say right now, Albany continues to throw moving screens for the shooter.
Milan just narrowly missing that one. The rebound back to Kara. Now Saar, a little pump fake, feeds it over to Sutton. Beautiful move into the dish for 2. Just like that, 8-point game with 30 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, Maine's just got too many weapons to stay down, but they've got to play smart defense right here, not foul, and don't give Albany an easy shot.
4-second differential between shot and game clock. It looks to be that Frames is aware of it. She starts to progress towards the dish, being guarded by McVicker. Throws the runner up off the glass and in, and she careens down to the baseline. 8 points now for her. The heave-ho before the break, and that one's going to be awry. A 10-point lead for the number 4 Great Danes over the Blackbeard. So far, so good for the visiting Great Danes, making the long trek to Orno.
Well, right now, I think one of the things that's hurting Maine is Maine's only shooting 25%. But again, give credit to Albany's defense, whereas Albany's shooting 50%. Albany's also gotten 10 points in the paint, so that's a much-needed shot right there from Maine.
Tanisha's son has said, "Team, get on my back, and I will take you back into this contest." As what an athletic effort off the window and in, and a chance for 8 points already for Tanisha.
Well, it's always fun to watch seniors play because every game, especially at this point in the season, could be their last one. Tanisha does not want this to be her last one.
And she completes the 3-point play. 7-point game, 19-12. New Albany on top with 9:44 left to go in the first half.
Yeah, surprisingly, Maine is staying in their man. They did just come off a made free throw, but still, I'm a little surprised they don't go to that zone.
The drive in Stokes over. Now another one from Cansey. She feeds it in. A little hack there, and that one's going to call on Blanca Milan. She had some words for a brief moment of time.
Well, that should have been a jump ball in the first 3 or 4 seconds she had her hand on that ball. That was initially a jump. When the Albany player tore the ball away, she had her wrist. So
here is the free throw. Is up and good. It's the first one down for Forster, who now has 7 total points.
Looks like Coach Vachon's going to keep Blanca in there. The 9 minutes, basically 9.5 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Backward pressure. Dorsar being shadowed by Frames. 21-12, the advantage now after the 2 free throws were good for Schechter. Off the ball foul, they're going to call that one on Kepra Stokes.
And I think that was something, to be honest with you, that was mentioned to the officials, that as Milan is cutting through the lane, she's being held. They caught that one.
An incredible electric atmosphere. The Cross Insurance Center has been vocal and loud, but with these echoing tendencies from this building, it has become oppressively loud to hear at some times when the fans get vocal.
Yeah, and it's got to be fun out there on the court to play with this kind of a crowd, even for the opposing team. Just the noise and the anxiety and the intenseness of this game.
3-pointer from Sar. She's missed the mark again. Now Albany working it around. They feed it inside, beautifully placed, but unable to drop it through as Cansey.
Yeah, that must have been hard for Blanca Milan. She usually wants to go after that defensively, but with 2 fouls, she knows she can't.
And usually precision passing from the junior from España, but
on in this pit right now with the noise is affecting Maine more than it is Albany.
Yeah, Albany's used to being booed and whatnot on the road. Maine, I don't think, is used to this kind of loud environment yet, though they have quite a good fan base, one of the best in New England. Kumsal Aslan and Heather Forster, by the way, into the contest.
Yeah, Maine, I think, averages somewhere around a little over 1,500 people a game. I think Albany is down around, the next highest team. Oh
my goodness, Paris Rosignol with a chance for a goal. Count it and one.
And that's what Maine needs right now is confidence with Paris Rosignol. She's had a little bit of a shooting slump going on. That should get her back. But yeah, as I was saying, I think the next closest attendance is somewhere around 800 in the America East. So again, most teams are not used to this kind of an atmosphere.
One of the rarest plays in basketball, completed by Paris.
Yeah, once a couple of Maine's 3-point shooters get hot and they get the ball to them, no team can think that Maine is out of it.
23-16 is the score. Just 6 minutes and change left to go in the first half. Frames trying to find a little bit of wiggle room. Instead, she works it over. Fed into Canada. She got a size advantage over Carroll. Just bulldozes through. And then Aslan is hit. Still a loose ball as Canada goes down to the ground. You can barely hear the whistles, though the Black Bears will be called for the foul.
Yeah, there was definitely a foul before that, too. Albany had reached in and...
I beg your pardon, Albany called for the foul, which means Sutton's going the other way for a free throw.
Yeah, I thought that's what might have happened. It's hard to hear anything, even the officials' whistles in here today.
The only reason I knew is because the players stopped moving so ferociously on the court.
Well, I think one official may have blown their whistle, another one another, as far as not quite figuring out who is, I guess they're going to go with. Yeah, just...
Well, here's the shot from Sutton. It's up and good. Aslan will be called for the foul.
Yeah, smart move on Vachon's part, too. She took Blanca Mullane off the free throw lane, and that's confidence in her free throw shooter, but also doesn't want Blanca to pick up a third foul with 5 minutes left to go.
Black Bears are money from the stripe here recently. Blanca Mullane telling her crowd to get a little bit more amped here with 5:50 left to go in this first half. And it is a 5-point game. Albany on top, 23-18. Frames feeds it in. Aslan swung around, up and under. It's going to be blocked, and there's going to be a foul called as well. And the Boo Birds are out in full effect here from the pit. So Maeve Carroll will join Fani Wadling with 2 fouls for the forwards from the UMaine side. And now you hear the yelling. But it does not affect the shooter in number 22, Forster, who's been pretty good from the stripe.
Yeah, and this is a game that, again, officials just need to interrupt occasionally, but they cannot interfere with a game like this.
The usually reliable Schechter, or Forster rather, misses that one. First free throw missed. Her team, though, up by 2 scores. 6-point lead. Mullane now driving in against Canada. She's stripped, it's knocked out of bounds, and will stay main ball with 15 on the shot clock.
Yeah, and again, Blanca, I think, is getting really physically attacked in there. Coach Vachon has said it again to the official. A lot of physical contact going on with the body.
Blanca just with 3 points today. Leading scorer in this Americas Conference. Dorsar now darts in. Feeds it down low to Maeve Carroll. Another beautiful assist for Dorsar.
Yeah, she has just become such an amazing Division I point guard. She can shoot the 3, but she's best when she has those kind of assists.
4-point game. Frames feeds it over. Canada back out. Now swung around. 3-pointer on its way. Just narrowly missing. Rebound to Sutton. Black Bears working quickly. Now to Rossignol. Spots up for 3. Misses. Rebound. Won by Sutton. Now Dorsar for a deep one. And she'll miss it, but she'll get 3 from the line.
Yeah, and this is when it becomes deflating for any team when they play.
It has been ferocious from the word go. Albany had a pretty advanced lead, but has since seen that dwindle, and could dwindle all the way down to 1 if Dorsar completes all 3 of these free throws.
Yeah, and right now I think what Maine's got to do is they've got to make sure that they go in at halftime with everybody with the fouls that they have. Nobody else can afford a 3rd foul, especially Fani Wadling or Blanca or Maeve Carroll. They've got to play smart.
Right before the break too, Sandy, Dorsar got fouled shooting a 3-pointer. It was the 2nd time so far today that a 3-point shot has resulted in a foul from Albany, and that's got to make Coach Mullen very, very disappointed.
Well, it makes any coach upset when you foul the 3-point shooter. That's like the cardinal sin. But again, especially in a critical part of the game.
Spin move in the lane, up and over the front iron. Forster has been an absolute force inside versus the Bears.
Yeah, and she's just got that nice little spin move. She can either go spin to her right and shoot it with her left, or spin to her left and shoot it with her right.
She's now in double digits with 11 total points. Mullane, who has just 3, feeds it back out. Rossignol, spot up shot, will miss that one. Inside box out though, Rossignol, a bulldog underneath, will deflect that one off the shin of number 22, Forster, and it will stay with the Black Bears in a fresh shot clock as well.
Yeah, one of the things Albany's doing, too, defensively is they are ball hawking. You cannot relax when you've got the ball in your hand. They're coming after it.
And then the Black Bears will commit the turnover. Not sure exactly what happened. It looked like maybe Tanisha was stepping out of bounds on the sideline.
No, I think that might have been an illegal pick or screen, and they need to be watching for that at both ends because I think Albany's been doing that a little bit as well. But that definitely was an illegal screen.
So another foul called on Black Bears. They have 3 to the 5 of Albany. Again, Forster, though, is pushed out that time, and then a loose ball scrum as Canada and Sutton collide.
And they both help each other up, so it's good sportsmanship.
Looked like a NASCAR crash for a moment. Glad to see both of those young women are okay, but free throws coming up because that will be over the limit for the Great Danes.
Yeah, I think Cheyenne Canada that time went over her back. Tanisha once again did a great job of boxing out somebody that was 6'2", and Tanisha is 5'10".
Sutton has been money from the stripe, and it will continue. Maine is now 8 for 8 from the line, and that's a show of a great, almost championship team. They are the reigning champs. And when you can get points with the clock stopped, the freebies, it's always going to help your success rate.
Yeah, and Maine's done a great job of that, especially going down through the conference. They rate about 72% from the free throw line.
1-point game again. Brian Stackel, Sandy Thomas, Adam LaFleur with you from the pit. As we watch another beautiful dive and dart, Kira Frames with another.
Yeah, she's almost a little bit out of control. If Maine can put a defensive player right in front of her.
And a foul will be called. That'll be on Aslan, her second. And more free throws coming up from the Black Bears. This will be Rosignol. Though Frames is so quick, reminds me of one Shorty Johnson from the Stony Brook side, and she's just able to find space and go right to the hole.
She is, but those last 3 or 4 steps, it's almost like if you can get a weak side defender to come over and take the charge, but you almost have to be a step or so ahead of her from the other side. She's a little bit out of control on those last 2 or 3 steps.
Pretty proficient from beyond the arc as well. 2 from 3. 3 free throws have been hit from Rosignol as Coach Vashon will call the timeout with 3:33 left to go in this first half.
Double-figure minutes, so again, Maine definitely has got to keep key players out of foul trouble.
28-27. Albany looking to extend the lead. It's Frames again, beating her defender to the spot. She can't get that one to go. Forster, or actually Cansey rather. Can't get that one to drop, and that one's another rebound for Sutton. Now a three-pointer for Dorsar, and the Black Bears have their first lead of the contest. And a timeout will be called by the Great Danes bench as this place is going bananas.
And that's all this crowd was waiting for.
You see this just spot-up three-pointer, nothing but nylon for the sophomore point guard.